Hey everyone, Pratiti Pathak here. Welcome to Unpacking Brain Drama, where we talk about real life experiences, the challenges, and the obstacles. Sometimes we use them to block ourselves, sometimes we use them to grow and evolve. Here's what I want to say: obstacles are not the things blocking our path, obstacles are the path. So, in other words, we have to grow through what we go through. So, join me as we have some amazing conversations with some amazing guests. Good morning, guys. I'm out here in Pennsylvania, and I know that most of you know me. You know how it's not stormy, but it's super windy today. But I will just for a moment. Let me see if I can kind of pause what's going on here on the Facebook. Oh, I guess it's fine. So today I want to kind of reintroduce myself a little bit because I know some of you know me and follow me and have been for quite a while. And I know some of you, let's see if I can pause this thing. Not sure why. All right, I'm just going to get out of that altogether so that I don't have to worry about seeing that anymore. So I want to just reintroduce myself a little bit. I am Pratiti Pathak, and I am a certified life coach. I've been a female entrepreneur for 25 years or so, mostly in male-dominated industries. I used to own a construction company with my husband at the time, and also had my own painting business. I was in the aerospace industry for many years, and I am still working as a realtor. I've been in the mortgage business. So I've done a lot of things, and I know that is been a huge asset for me, at least in my life, right? And today I am a life coach, and I work primarily and exclusively, I won't say exclusively, but primarily with women, high-performing women who want to build resilience in their life, right? Women who are going through the ups and downs of life, challenges, obstacles through relationship issues or due to, I know menopause is a big one for me, money, financial ups and downs, divorce, loss. It could be the loss of human life. It could be the loss of family member. Obviously, family members are human lives. Loss of jobs. It doesn't matter. Life's ups and downs, right? We have experiences through lives that sometimes are very challenging and pose obstacles for us, maybe some setbacks, and they want to build resilience through revealing kind of their own wisdom by uncovering what already lies deep within them, right? The truth is, we already have everything we need to know deep inside of us. And often it's just buried and locked deeply within the layers, underneath all the layers of our life experiences, our life decisions, our work, relationships, other people, their energy, and all the feelings of life, especially when things go wrong or go unexpected, or we end up with experience causes us to think crazy thoughts every single day. So in order to really sometimes unveil our own, you have to be able to pause and give yourself a moment to think about what you're thinking about this level. And that is the work that I do on a regular basis, right? I help people see what's going on in their brain unconsciously. That's why we have this podcast, Unpacking Brain Drama. And it's because we have a lot of brain drama, right? We have a lot of thinking that we do that we are not even aware that we're doing. So one of the things that I want to talk to you about today is my signature program. Okay, so I have a signature program, Your Inner Guide, and I really teach you how to kind of reveal your inner warrior princess. As you can see, I'm a product of the 80s, and I loved Xena growing up, the warrior princess, and that is really what it's about. Tapping into our inner warrior princess and stepping into a little bit of our own divine feminine energy. And if you're not sure what feminine energy is or what it looks like, it really looks more like kindness, unconditional love, patience, holding space for ourselves, showing ourselves and treating ourselves with a little bit of understanding and compassion, right? I mentioned earlier that I have been an entrepreneur a lot in the masculine energy roles, right? In masculine industries that were dominated by men. And I can assure you that nobody wanted to talk to me about construction work 20 years ago, 25 years ago. They were like, no. So one thing that I have revealed for myself and so many other women is I've worked with what is already deep inside of me, right? What I've worked with is what we already have, everything that we need to know. It's just hidden underneath all these different layers of life. So what I have done is I've learned how to kind of unlayer my layers, if you will. And this is how I've learned to introduce myself to myself. And I've learned how to teach other women how to unveil themselves, right? This is how I have introduced them to themselves. So in order to truly connect with the deep knowing of ourself is to tap into our own wisdom. And I want to say connect, or reconnect, but for some of us, it may be the very first time that we're even aware that we can connect, and maybe we've never connected with ourselves in such a deep way, right? We have to step away from our life long enough to be able to connect with ourselves, right? And reconnect to this gorgeous wisdom that's just locked deep inside of us. And here's a fun fact about me and my name. My name is Pratiti. In my Gujarati, which is the language that I speak, in my native tongue, I'm sweating to death this morning. In my native tongue, Gujarati, my name is pronounced Pratiti. And it means, if you look it up, faith, a deep knowing, intuition, which just made sense to me. Confidence. It made sense because it was always going on inside of me. In order to wisdom long enough to connect with yourself and with that gorgeous wisdom that's inside of you. And one thing I have realized is I love knowing and believing. I've heard this example many times of planting seeds, and especially about the acorn. And I love knowing and believing that we are like that little acorn that grows into this magnificent, gorgeous, huge oak tree. And when I think about the oak tree, especially, and I think about what it represents, the oak tree to me, it just represents strength and longevity, stability, fertility, power, honor, resilience, right? Like the beautiful oak tree, we also have everything we need for our own path to beautiful, deep growth into the best versions of ourself and the greatest versions of ourself, because it's already inside of us. And like the oak tree, we also have to contend with the external environment. For the oak tree, it is the wind and the rain and the weather that influences its growth, right? But just like the oak tree, we also have what it takes to weather the storms of life and life experiences that try to shake us down. I hope you guys get that analogy, because in order to stay connected and deepen our roots and strengthen our roots, I believe every single one of us has to take a personal break, a personal retreat every year or more, if you can, and step out of your life just long enough so that you can actually hear your own wisdom and tap into your own deep knowing. I want to try to do something real quick with that. See if I can bring the internet back up. I'm not sure if I can, but if so, I'm going to just try to real quick. One thing I've done in order to stay connected to our roots is I've combined everything I've learned in psychology, neurology. Let me see if I can do this. Everything I've learned in psychology, neurology. I love studying the brain, life coaching certification tools that I've learned, and everything I've learned in my own life experiences from going against the cultural norms. Guess I'm not able to really, from going against the cultural norms, being a single mom, experiencing single momhood, to grieving the loss of my only child. If you're new to me, I lost my 17-year-old son, Bevan, almost 14 years ago. And I have used these powerful tools that I've learned to deepen my connection to myself. And I've used the same tools to help so many other women deepen the connections to themselves. And if you are like most women, you probably are not very good at making time for yourself. I know for me, back in the day, the most I ever did, which you probably will be able to relate to, most of us, the most we ever do is step out of our life for a moment, meaning to go to a multi-level marketing party like Mary Kay, Pampered Chef. I myself just did an epicure party and hosted it for a gal, a friend of mine. I used to go to Party Light. I've gone to Stella and Dot, you name it, I've done it. And it was my way to get away from the family for an evening of getting together with women and hanging out. But to be quite honest, other times I just wandered around in a store or the market. I was like, I'm going to the market. And that was the most I gave myself to be able to get out of my own life for a moment. And the truth is, those types of parties or gatherings, they're fun, but that time sense is when it comes to the depth of, right? Nothing about it contributes to you as a woman or in a truly connecting with yourself on a deep level, kind of hanging out, spending money, and then maybe regretting what you bought later because you didn't need yet one more can opener, and then drinking some wine, right? Just to go back to your own life in a couple of hours, like no earth-shattering changes took place, right? And I'm not saying that they're not fun and they're not worth doing and that they don't provide some stress relief temporarily, but it's not a way to deeply connect with yourself. And that's what we're talking about today. We're not talking about just taking a break from the family. We're talking about doing something and taking a break from your life, your entire life, to just connect with yourself. So what I'd like to do is during this time together today, I'd like to invite you to an experience that I have designed for go away, think, share, reflect, and connect to ourselves and each other. It will be very thought-provoking and pivotal in a way that can be life-changing, right? For me, it was last year in October was the first time that I actually did a retreat for others. But before that, I just want to back up for a moment. I had been going to the same resort, same vacation since 2013. So almost 10 years I'd been going away. So it's taking a vacation, as many of us do, right? We go away on vacation with the family, or if you were like me, I went away with my significant other. And it was a great time and I loved it. And it was peaceful, it was relaxing, but so many times I needed a vacation from my vacation, right? Because I didn't really really dive deep into myself. Yes, there were moments that I was on the beach alone, but not in a way that was truly connecting to myself for longer than a sunrise. So I have 2 years ago in 2021, I actually went on a girls' vacation. Just me and my girlfriend went. And that was really changing for me. And it shifted a lot for me because there I was really able to just connect with another woman in a way that we just got to talk about things that were going on in life and how it affected us, and how and we both had something in common is we are both friends, but we have both lost children, and we've both been gone through divorce, and so we know what bouncing off different ideas and sharing different life events meant for us. So that was really changing for me. So I've gone on personal retreats myself. I've now given personal retreats as of last year. And that was my first time hosting. My first retreat was last October, and it was absolutely a game changer, to say in the least, right? The women who came had deep discovery about themselves. They revealed mind-blowing insights about themselves. And that's what a retreat does, right? Retreats are filled with significant impact if you go on a really good one. Now, there's times where, women just want to get together and party, and there's nothing wrong with that. And I'll get a little bit into how that's an option. But you want it to have a significant impact on you, like a life shift for you in just a few days, because it was already all there deep within us. Like I said, you just need to step out of the noise to be able to hear it, right? Only then, when you step out of the noise, can you actually step into it, hear it, vision it, own it, right? I'm going to say that one more time. Only when you step out of the noise can you be quiet enough to hear your own wisdom, visualize it, and own it, and really step into it. So it's all about challenging all of our limiting beliefs and limiting thoughts through the power of questions, which is something I talked heavily about last week, right? You have this whole entire beautiful brain, you have this beautiful body and soul, and most of you are going through your entire human life experience never really knowing who you are or what you stand for, right? Most of the time we are defining ourselves, identifying ourselves, telling ourselves that our life purpose is around the identity of what you do for work, your title as a in your job or in your career, or even as your business owner, right? Who you are in the family as a family member, excuse me. I'm a wife, I'm a mother, I'm a caretaker. However you define yourself, it's not really giving yourself the depth of knowing who you are and what you actually stand for. We literally have everything we need to stay connected to ourselves, and instead we use all of the outside influence to separate from ourselves. I want to just say that one more time because I'm having a sore throat, but I also want to repeat it because I think it's so important. We literally have everything we need to stay connected to ourselves and be connected to who we are and what we stand for. But most of this time, instead, we use all of that outside influence, that external environment, to separate ourselves from ourselves. So the first step is really making this decision and saying, yes, I matter. My own knowing of myself is a priority to me. So actually just beginning that process and saying that first step that yes, I matter and I'm committed to making myself a priority is a huge step in knowing the direction that you want to go, and in honoring that time for yourself in discovering yourself, right? So on this retreat, I mentioned that I did one in October. I have another one that's coming up. So many of you have already gotten back to me. I had originally 5 rooms available. I have 2 rooms left. It's a beautiful resort that I've been going to, like I said, since 2013. I love it. You'll have private transportation to and from the airport. From Cancun. It's in Mexico. It's in Riviera Maya. And on this retreat, what you will get is a gorgeous, beautiful journal where we will be doing all of our work around the power of questions. I will give you this gorgeous pen to write with. There will be yoga. There will be meditation. There will be crystal healing. You will get crystals. You will learn how to use them. And we will have so much inner reflection, conversation, and connection, and revealing what all of these different things mean, and so much more. Now, I know we talked about partying. We're not going to be partying the whole time, but there will be a ridiculous amount of evening entertainment and a show every night. So it'll be amazing. It is for 4 days. The retreat is for 2 days. You come in, you have the retreat, and you go home. Not a huge time commitment out of your life, but definitely long enough to really dive deep on yourself. It is so empowering, right? When you make this commitment to yourself, I always want to invite you to also remember one thing, that there is a reason why you are called to do this, and why now is the time that you are called to do it, right? And all that wisdom that gets revealed to you through this time is where you just allow that to show you what is next for you in your life, and what life is and what it could be, right? Because what it is today, I'm not saying you're going to come to a retreat and you're going to, leave your relationship or change your relationship or change careers or change anything drastically, though it does happen and can happen, because when you have the power of emotions moving in that way, and you have the power of discovering yourself in that way, maybe there is a situation that you have been trying to make the decision on what to do. As we talked about last week, when you are stuck in the indecision, you are deciding to not decide. What I'm asking of you is to make a decision just on you and go all in on you. It might be the first time you've done it. Maybe you've done it before and you know the power of this and what it does for you and how it reveals you to yourself. And don't forget, this is not something you do once. The reason I do this over and over is because I am the new version of myself on a regular basis, right? Especially, I'm always all about growth. So the more I grow, the more it makes sense for me to reveal myself to myself and see how I've grown. This is how we unlock so much of our own deep insight about ourselves. It is the number one relationship that is failing us on a regular basis. We think we have great relationships with other people, and we treat them with respect and admiration and love and compassion and forgiveness. And very rarely as women do we give this to ourselves and treat ourselves with that same love and admiration and respect. Taking a bubble bath with candles is a beautiful way to retreat at home. Unfortunately, it doesn't last long enough to do the depth of this type of work. I think it's super important. And then on top of that, do this. So this is at the end of April. I am looking forward to talking with you guys. If you have interest, there is a link in the description above this Facebook Live where it gives you the link to just jump on a call and have a chat with me. See if this retreat makes sense for you. Maybe it does. Maybe it doesn't make sense for you to do right now, but maybe it'll set you up for the next one that comes along at the end of October, because I'm going to be giving them twice a year. But jump on the call, find out what it's all about, see how it can change things for you. And I hope that you will join us in Riviera Maya, Mexico at the end of April. And I look forward to talking with you. So good to spend this time with you guys. Enjoy the rest of your week and make it so amazing. Make today so amazing that yesterday gets jealous. That's what I'm going to leave you guys with. Thanks so much, guys. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Thank you for listening to Unpacking Brain Drama podcast. You'll find links for all the things mentioned below in the show notes. And it would be incredibly awesome if you would take a quick moment to leave a review on iTunes or wherever you listen. If you'd like to be considered as a guest on our podcast, be sure to go to www.resultsbydesigncoaching.com for a free 30-minute coaching session. Thanks so much, guys. See you next time.